What is going on, everyone? It's GeneralTarheel bringing you the SDL Season 4 Week 8 battle versus Coach SareneGrace and the Joliet Lycanrocs. And coming into Week 8, we did get the win against Coach Gentle Trainer last week for Week 7. Did get a nice 2-0 victory against him, where we wanted to get a little Marowak sweep, but we ended up just getting the win, which is alright in the end because that game got a little scary, but Milotic walled it for us. Now, when I'm looking at Sarah's roster here, one, I'm thinking Dugtrio does a lot of work because it traps a lot of things. Two, she has no ground type, so Tapu Koko does a crazy amount to her team. Three, Milotic can eat for days. Four, I like this matchup for me at that point, if you can't tell already. So quickly, I'm going to go over SareneGrace's roster. She does indeed... She has the Magearna, the Entei, Galvantula, Tentacruel, Ditto, Cryogonal, Mega Latias, Weavile, Hitmonchan, Dusknoir, Rotom Fan. And she is rocking a 4-2. That's lower than it should be. Because it's week 8, but whatever. They just need to update the doc. I probably need to as well because I never help with it. But anyways, she does have a pretty solid team overall. Magearna's always a threat. Galvantula with the webs. Entei's a powerhouse. Weavile's a powerhouse. And the fact that it's a Mega Latias that shouldn't even exist in draft format is ridiculous because that thing is just... its stats are ridiculous, like it honestly is. But the one thing that SareneGrace lacks every week... not lacks, but does every week, is setup. She has at least 3 setup mons every time. I'm surprised she actually didn't bring Ditto versus me. She always brings Ditto or Magearna. It's always a Calm Mind Mega Latias, which is understandable because the thing can actually eat a lot of hits, and if it sets up, then that might be game. She brought a bulk up Hitmonchan like last 2 weeks or last week or something like that, and then SD Weavile. So when I saw those on the screen, I'm like, that's probably what they are. She kind of relies on setup, and that's why I kind of revolved my team around Milotic having Haze. But now I'm just going out of order. I was just talking about playstyle first and what should we expect. But let me go over my team build real quick. We have a Jolly, almost max speed, max attack, Dugtrio with the Focus Sash. I was about to go Choice Band, but I decided Focus Sash. We have Earthquake, Stone Edge, Stealth Rock, and Toxic. This was originally going to be a choice band with like Shadow Claw, and then I realized how little damage it really did to Mega Lati. Also, I didn't want to be locked into Earthquake if that thing could come in and just setting up Calm Minds. That would just be annoying. So I decided to go with the original Sash Dougie, which is one of the best Dougies. Definitely just there to get hazards and trap things like Entei or Galvantula, since I get the outspeed on that, anything like that I wanted to. And then next up we had the Milotic, which was a max defense with a little bit of speed just in case he tried to... tried to speed creep with some other mons. Milotic had Scald, Toxic, Haze, and Recover. Haze, of course, stopped any setup that she could have went for, especially walling the Mega Latias, taking on Hitmonchan pretty well, and then Weavile can only do Dark-type coverage, which of course is the main knockoff, but once I recover after that knock, it doesn't do too much damage afterwards. Toxic, of course, for those setup mons, so they think they can stay in, and then not only are they Toxic timed, but then they don't even get their stats after I Haze the following turn. And Scald, of course, lets me hit anything on his... and I keep saying his, I'm so sorry. Anything on her team, because Scald just, the stab, and then we get that nice burn on anything that we might on, like Weavile or Galvantula or Hitmonchan. And, of course, Recover to keep our health and just have Milotic be the best water tank in the game. And then, next up, we have Klefki, defensive tech Klefki. This easily takes on Weavile. It can take on Mega Lati. It can take on Galvantula a little bit. Just not the electric side, especially if we added the electric terrain up. But Klefki had T-Wave, Spikes, Play Rough, and Magic Coat. This was in order for me just to set up Spikes once I realized if she had a spinner or not. She had 2 spinners on the screen, which is kind of scary. But normally she, like I said, she always brings Magearna, Ditto, Mega Lati, Weavile, and then 2 fill-ins. Majority of the time it would be Galvantula, and then some other fill-in. And the fact she would never probably bring Defog on Mega Lati because it will always be a Calm Mind set, it was kind of obvious that it either had to be Spin Cryogonal or Spin Hitmonchan. So if neither of those were there, then I get the Hazard stack with Spikes. But I did see those 2 at the beginning of the battle, so I laid off that for a little bit. Play Rough is just so I can actually hit like Weavile on switch in, and then I can hit Mega Lati, because if it sets up, I don't want to Dazzling Gleam it, because, special attack, special defense. And then lastly, I had Magicoat. This was in case she had a Ditto. If she came in on the Clef Key just to see what I had to be all annoying with, she'd be really tempted just to click Magicoat against me probably, and then I could just get a hard switch and a Dougie and trap it, and that'd be the end of that. So Clef Key honestly was going to be a little bit important in this game, but I was also just going to be the old Key self and just be annoying. And then we got Tapu Koko, the thing that does so much damage. I had a Calm Mind set with Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, and Dazzling Gleam with a Life Orb. I didn't want to run Life Orb originally, but I decided to go with it. Tapu Koko absolutely destroyed her team, like it honestly did. The only things that really hurt it was like if it was a Life Orb, Weavile with Ice Shard, and then into a Banded Extreme Speed Entei. That did a lot. But the Calm Minds would just allow me to really sweep. That's all I can really say. Like that's all it would do. Like Tapu Koko had an amazing matchup versus her, and it could have done a lot of work to her team. Next up, we have Mega B. We have the Pin Missile, U-Turn, Drill Run, and Tailwind. Mega B was going to do a lot of work this game, no doubt. I brought the Pin Missile mainly because once she sees I have no hazard removal on my team, I was hoping she was going to lead Galvantula. That way I can get off a Pin Missile, because 3 Pin Missile hits does kill Galvantula and it ignores any possible Focus Sash that she had, which is really cool. Because majority of the time I'm probably getting 3 hits. My luck, I might have gotten 2, but you know. And then U-Turn for the momentum. She doesn't have that many great switch-ins for Mega B, which is very helpful. The Drill Run's there for the Magearna, as well as like the Entei and stuff like that. Even though the Adaptability Poison Jab just does as much as Drill Run to Entei, I needed the Drill Run specifically for the Tentacruel on her team, as well as the she did have Tentacruel, right? I'm not going crazy. So she did have another spinner. Yeah, she had 3 spinners. Okay, my bad. She did have Tentacruel. But anyways, I needed it for the Tentacruel as well as the Magearna, because I couldn't really touch them otherwise. And we had the Tailwind just to support Alola Marowak, or if the webs did get up and I felt like it was a needed situation in order for me to have the outspeeds on certain things. And then lastly, Alola Marowak, of course, like I just mentioned, we have Max Speed, Max Attack Adamant. Once again with the Rockhead Thick Club with Flare Blitz, EQ, Shadow Bone, and Stealth Rock. Just another Stealth Rocker just in case, because once again I wasn't really sure about her hazard removal that she might have brought. Also, Alola Marowak didn't really need any other moves. This thing just did a hole to the team. The only thing that really ate was Mega Latias. That could eat like 1 Shadow Bone if it was max defense with the Calm Mind, which what I expected, of course. But other than that, Alola Marowak just does Alola Marowak things. And if I could have gotten the Tailwind for Mega B for that, that would have been really cool. And it's also just there just to get a one-shot, because I can normally live any hit from anything except for like a Weavile knockoff. Or if it was like the Strong Scald Tentacruel, I don't know. But so that's it for the team. I took a lot for that, so I'm going to quickly go into the battle. Like I said, I was going to lead Mega Beedrill, which I did in case she led Galvantula. And instead she decides to lead Weavile. And this was a poor play on my part. I really should have clicked Pin Missile, but I decided to click U-Turn. This was risky because if she had Pursuit, my Mega B was already dead. That's simple. I knew it wasn't going to be Scarf Weavile or anything, and there we go. Swords Dance. She was a Focus Sash Swords Dance, so we go hard Clef Key. Knockoff does a whopping 50, which actually is surprising. But we get to kill this thing with the Play Rough. Weavile's already dead turn 2, so that's great. Brings in the Mega Latias. I immediately have to go into Milotic. This is my... Oh, no, I go hard Beedrill because I know she's going for the Calm Mind. I remember that. From this point on, though, I think I go Milotic. But we get to get this nice U-turn off so it gets really low and forces her to click a attacking move against the B. I believe she clicks Psyshock. Does nothing to my... Oh, I mean, it does a lot to Milotic, but that's because of the +1. And forced to go for a Roost here, so I am capable of getting off a Haze, reset the stats, and that will force her to switch out here, I believe. Yep. She decides to make a nice switch into Galvantula, which I should have predicted, in all honesty, but I just didn't want to risk on the Latias just getting anything. That Toxic would have been helpful. Knowing the webs are here, I'm going hard B again, because always go hard B. The thing's a tank. And U-turn will easily take out this Galvantula here. And then that's another Mon down. Unfortunately, these webs are going to be a little bit of a pain, though. And I can freely go into Milotic because this thing takes on the rest of her team. I have to scout for Freeze Dry Cryogonal, though. So I go hard Alola Marowak, being the best answer to this thing, probably. As she goes for the knockoff. I'm not sure if she got the read or if she just wanted leftovers off Milotic, but... And then shows she's a screens Cryogonal, which is pretty cool. Reflect and light screen. I went for the Shadow Bone predicting the Mega Lati, but of course went for the screen, so then I just click Flare Blitz the following turn. Goes Lati here again. I have to go Milotic 1,000,000%, because any setup with this thing behind screens will be really annoying. As she goes for the Shadow Ball, gets the SPDF drop, but doesn't really matter because we still eat a lot of stuff. I believe I go for the recover here just so I don't have to risk any sort of unnecessary damage. And then I go for the Toxic here the following turn, which I believe I should have hazed first, considering the SPDF drop was a little risky. Because now with the +1 special attack and my minus SPDF, I'm going to be doing a little bit of damage with the Shadow Ball right here. As you see, it does 44%. But then we get that nice haze off, and then we're in a free range, where you can't do much, and we get to click recover freely this next turn. Just spamming Shadow Ball. I guess Shadow Ball does more, considering I'm defensive Milotic instead of Psyshock, but Psyshock does give stab. I'm not sure about the calc on that, but she kept wanting to go for the Shadow Ball. We just click Scald here because she has to switch soon because of the Toxic adding up, so I can freely just keep clicking it. Decides to go hard Entei here, which is pretty interesting. That may have me a little confused on what the possible set is, but we're definitely going to stay in and just click Scald, as she gives me my Marvel skill with Toxic. But this is actually a little annoying. In all honesty, I could have gotten a 6-0 if it wasn't a Toxic, because I could have just taken on the rest of the team. But because I'm Toxic, I have to switch out, otherwise I'll just lose too much health against this Mega Lati. But we click Scald again just in case. But right here I decide to go hard Dougie, because this way I can, I know she's going to roost up here. No, I go Klefki. I want Klefki as a mistake. I don't know why. Because I can't play rough this thing. I didn't want it to set up. Because if it set up Calm Minds against me, then it could have just been a problem. So I ended one turn at Toxic, I guess, which was kind of pointless. But now I get to go in Milotic. I get to click Haze just to force this thing to stop, which is a decent help, I guess. But you see, the SPDF shots were a little annoying. Luckily, I did have Haze. Of course, if I didn't have Haze, I think I lost to the Slotty anyways. But now we get to freely both heal up this turn, which is perfectly fine. And I believe we... No, she doesn't make a switch here. I go hard Dougie this turn. I know that for a fact. Because like I said, I was about to say, I wanted to get up my rocks. So Entei does die on switch in, and then I don't have to worry about my Milotic coming in when it doesn't need to, because it has the Toxic. But she decides to just go for the roost here on Lottie. Toxic's just going to bring her down to the exact same area just about. Just keeps going for the Shadow Ball, takes out Dougie, that's perfectly fine. I just needed my rocks up. And then Lottie goes down to Toxic, which is actually crazy. Just let that go down. And then we go Tapu Koko here because he can take on the team. Just goes ahead and sacks Entei. That shows that it's not a rapid spin Hitmonchan, and it is obviously a setup Hitmonchan. I misplayed right here. I should have went for Volt Switch. Actually no, that was actually just good prep. She just had the Roselia Berry. It would have killed otherwise. But then as the EQ, I know she's gonna have Bullet Punch or Mach Punch, but I didn't want to risk any health damage on my Milotic that I didn't need, or that was too risky. But we do have the Marvel Scale Milotic here, where it does get a little iffy with this Drain Punch damage being a good amount. But we do have the Scald, and then we can just wear it down over time, and we'll be in a safe spot. I just click Scald right here again because I didn't want to risk her just getting too much health over time, and we do get the burn. It happens eventually with Scald. So, and right here I know Milotic could live any hit and just go for a recover. She predicted the Aluminum Airwhack, which I was considering, but I lived any hit, so it was unnecessary. And we go for the recover as she will die to burn next turn no matter what, so I freely just click Scald here as we take out the Hitmonchan, and we get a nice 4-0 against Coach Cerebear and the Joliet Lycanrocs. That was a GG. We definitely knew when the setup was going to happen, and we prepped well for it with the Haze Milotic. It ate it up pretty well. Beedrill put in a lot of work. Those hard switches into Beedrill are very nice. I would just wish I clicked Pin Missile turn 1 against Weavile. That way Klefki would have had a little bit more health. I don't think it really mattered against her team, but it still would have been helpful. Also, I wish I knew that Galvantula play was going to happen because the webs were a little bit annoying. I probably could have gotten a 6-0. I'm not confident because the team's still scary. Like, that Hitmonchan still could have done damage, especially since the Entei might have not Toxic me or something like that. I wouldn't have got on my Marvel Scale. But, like, it would have been a little bit closer, but we'll definitely take a 4-0. That's still a great win as we move closer to the top, as hopefully we pass Coach Loris as we were tied this week. But that'll be it for the SDL. Make sure to check the APA as I'm double uploading because I'll be heading to the beach for the weekend. Make sure to sub, like, share, deuces.